Welcome to the Unique Indoor Comfort Customer Experience Training Program. During this video, you will learn the importance and value of relationship building and fundamental communication skills. You will also learn to quickly identify the unique ways in which your customer communicates and interacts with others. Finally, you will learn and apply specific communication tools and techniques that will assist you in quickly building new relationships, as well as deepen those that already exist. When we enter most homes, we do so as complete strangers. This is a situation or dynamic that can be uncomfortable and awkward for some homeowners. A dynamic that should not be allowed to continue if we are committed to creating an exceptional customer experience. A relationship, therefore, must be built quickly with your customer. To create a highly positive and valuable relationship with your customer requires that you make them feel comfortable with you and that you can be trusted. One of the best approaches to creating comfort and trust is through commonality. People like people that are like themselves. And because of this, people trust people that they like. And therefore, people work well with people that they trust. When it comes to creating commonality, people are like icebergs. 10% is above the waterline. 90% is below the waterline. When trying to create commonality with someone, most people rely solely on establishing tangible connections to that individual through sports, hobbies, world or local events, even professional or personal activities. They focus only on the 10% that is apparent and easily accessed. There is much more we can do to build a substantial and differentiable relationship. We can further focus our energies below the waterline, creating commonality and connection in other areas. Two such areas that can have significant impact on relationship building include the way people communicate and the way people interpret the world around them. When two or more people are close enough to see or hear one another, they will communicate. Intentionally or unintentionally, verbally or non-verbally, they will communicate. Given a thought, idea, or concept one wishes to share with another, there are three elements for communicating it other than the written language. There are the words that are being spoken, the way the words are being spoken or tonality, and last but not least, body language, the physiology you use when you communicate. Let's take a moment to explore tonality a little bit further. Tonality is the way we say the words. It includes tempo, rate or rhythm in which you speak, your pitch, having either high or low tone, your inflection, the variation in pitch so as to emphasize certain words, resonance, intensification or prolonged use of a word, and finally volume, your degree of loudness or softness. As for body language or physiology, it includes facial expressions, the gestures and body movements that you make, your posture while communicating, and finally your eye movement or the eye contact you make. Of the three elements of communication, surprising to many, body language has the greatest impact on the communicated message. 55% of the communicated message is provided by your use of body language. Only 7% of the message that you communicate is done through the words that you say. And the remainder, 38%, is dependent upon tonality. With this knowledge, you can therefore create commonality by matching and mirroring your customer's manner of communication. And if 55% of communication is done through body language and 38% through tonality, those are the areas to focus on the most. For example, if you're an animated person and you use your arms, hands, and body language to express yourself, and your customer, on the other hand, is more reserved in this manner, perhaps feels more comfortable in a closed posture, maybe with arms folded, they will more than likely alter their body language or posture. To increase comfort level, you should match and mirror their body language. This doesn't mean you have to be exact. Similar though, this holds true for tonality as well. If your customer speaks with energy, louder and faster perhaps than you, to increase their comfort, adjust, match and mirror their tonality. Increase your rate of speech, resonance, and volume to a level similar to theirs, and keep pace with them throughout the entire conversation. Again, people like themselves. People trust people that they like, and people work well with people that they trust. Another way we can enhance our communication and commonality with our customers is by applying the principles of primary sensory dominance, or PSD. We experience the world around us through our senses, primarily through sight, sound, and touch. While each of us use all three senses, we each have a natural preference for one of them. This preference is referred to as primary sensory dominance. If you can identify a customer's preference and communicate to them in a manner consistent with that preference, you can enhance your level of commonality with the customer, thus creating increased trust and comfort. Now, 55% of the population are those that are more dependent upon their sense of vision than on the other senses they have. These are people that interpret the world through sight. Common characteristics of highly visual people: they think, move, and talk fairly quickly. They are mobile and animated. They love to get to the bottom line. They judge people on how they look. They don't like to be interrupted. And many visuals have a tendency to mispronounce words. They see and think in pictures and often have a video running in their head and are trying to keep pace with the video but fail to do so. And finally, they love graphs and other visual aids. Visuals have a tendency to speak in specific metaphors or conversational terms. You may hear from them words like, "It's clear," "Look at this," "Can you see what I'm saying?" "Watch what is happening." Can you picture that? Let's examine that a bit further. Auditories, on the other hand, make up approximately 20% of the population. These are people that interpret the world around them through sound. Common characteristics of auditories: they think in words, sounds, and dialogues. Their ideas are represented in their minds as conversations. They have a tendency to talk to themselves prior to speaking out loud. They speak in even tones and with steady rhythm. They are comfortable with those that speak at the same rate they do and are easily bored by monotone speaking. Specific auditory terms or metaphors that are used include, "Call me so we can talk about this." "That sounds like a good idea." "Do you hear what I'm saying?" "Let's talk this thing through." "Can you mention that to me one more time?" "Perhaps we can speak about this later." "I can hear that in your voice." Kinesthetics are influenced heavily by how they feel about their reality. They make judgments based on inner feelings and on external experience to touch. They speak slowly to convey the right feeling. They're often low-pitched and low-toned and breathe deeply and slowly. Comfort is one of the most important things to a kinesthetic individual. Some common kinesthetic terms include, "I'm getting the feeling." "Can we push that back?" "That's kind of rough. Let's hold on to this for a while." "I'd like to get in touch with that person." And "I'm warming up to the idea." Adjusting to your customer's primary sensory dominance will again improve the ease in which you communicate. When communicating with visuals, engage them visually. Provide them with graphs or other visual aids. Use visual words like see and look. If you don't already do so, quicken the pace in which you talk. Dress nice and take notes when talking with them. Go to the bottom line and then work up. Remember, one of the most important things that needs to occur is that he or she gets the picture. Now, when communicating with auditories, use auditory words and phrases like hear and sound. Change your speech pattern. Keep your volume, speed, and tone about mid-level. Tell third-party stories. Share testimonials. And make sure that they have time to talk things through. Additionally, meet in areas void of extraneous sounds. Auditories are very susceptible to distraction by other sounds or conversations. And for kinesthetics, share or tell them stories. Share your or other people's feelings on the subject and give them time to get a feeling for what is being said. If you have something tangible that has something to do with your product or service, give them something to feel or touch. Use kinesthetic phrases like feeling and sensing, and create a comfortable environment in which to meet. Additionally, slow your pace down a little, especially how you talk. Relax and enjoy the conversation. That concludes this training video. Thank you for your participation in this module. Don't forget to do your pre-work prior to class, and I'll see you in training.
heart is a balloon.